Why are you being so aggressive? Why can't you just tell me what's happening with you? Why can't you just say no to them? Why is it so hard to say no? How many times have you heard other people talk to you this way? Because you did not know how to communicate your feelings. Now, if you are looking to change your communication style and improve on your personal development, then you are in the right place, because I am going to be starting a series where I will teach you how to become assertive in life. And if we haven't met before, my name is Megha Mathur and I welcome you to my channel, Let's Talk Mental Health, to live your best life. So remember, this is going to be a series where I will teach you about assertive communication. But before you even get to that point, you need to understand the 4 communication styles that are highly negative. You are going to understand your own communication style so that you can start making those necessary changes. And you're also going to learn to say no. Because remember, this is the hardest thing that anyone that I've ever coached has told me, is the art of saying no. So if you are somebody who is interested, then do subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on the series and don't miss out on learning to become assertive. Now, Dr. John Gottman came up with 4 negative communication styles. The first one is criticism, where we actually criticize the person in front of us. So let me give you an example. Your husband leaves his plate next to the sink and not in the dishwasher. And I'm sure a lot of women out there have experienced this. So what does criticism look like? You could hear yourself saying, I've told you this like 2,000 times. Why is your plate still near the sink? Why hasn't it gone in the dishwasher? You're being so damn lazy. I'm sure you must have heard yourself say that. And that is a negative communication style. Now the next one on Dr. John Gottman's list is contempt. And that is when your feelings become so strong that you actually start to call the other person by names. For example, you are so stupid. Why can't you do anything right? Why do you always have to do things the wrong way? Now, not only have you shown contempt to this person, you've also criticized the person in front of you. Now, have you ever seen yourself become defensive when you're put on the spot? Is the third negative communication style. And it looks something like this. I'm not the reason we're late. You are the reason we're late. We're always late because you take forever to get ready. Have you ever heard yourself say something like this when you've been put on the spot? You're actually blaming the person in front of you rather than becoming assertive. In our minds, we're thinking we're becoming assertive by being aggressive and defensive. But for the person standing in front of you, it all boils down to looking as if it's an aggressive style of communication. Now, the final negative communication style on Dr. John Gottman's list is stonewalling. And I'm sure a lot of you in relationships have, been in a situation where you've been stonewalled. Now, what does it mean? It means that the person sitting in front of you has shut down completely and doesn't engage. And that is because their communication style is probably being on the passive side for a very long time. And it's important to know that when you're getting stonewalled, all communication breaks down. And this is when learning the proper assertive technique is going to help you break all of those negative patterns of communication. So now that you understand the different types of negative communication styles, I want you to ask yourself these critical questions, which are in a free guide that I am providing you in the links below. So I want you to ask yourself, how did you learn to become unassertive in life? How did your parents deal with conflict when you were young? What are some of the things you might have learned early on in life that have affected the way you communicate? How are you dealing with conflict now? All of these are questions that you need to answer in order for you to first of all understand your communication pattern. Now, how is it that we all learn to become unassertive in life? It starts very early on in our childhood. So if you have ever seen your parents deal with conflict, you imbibe whatever you see. Now, if your parents had, say, aggressive behavior when they were angry and stressed and were feeling negative emotions, you are going to use all of those techniques because you've seen them. You've seen them as a child, and that is what your normal is. Now, on the other hand, if you had a family where you were always told to please the other person in front of you, then you are going to grow up with a pleasing nature, which means that in all likelihood, you have a passive communication style, which means you go with the flow and you let everyone speak to you a certain way, because in your mind, you always have to make sure that the person in front of you is feeling fine. In return, that causes you to feel the negative emotions. In some families, you can also see that they're ridiculed for having a negative emotion, that they are taught that if you cry, it's actually a weakness. So you imbibe everything that you're growing up. And it's very important for you to understand how you are communicating with others. It's important to know who you are as a person before you make those changes in your life, which will help you in your personal development. So now it's time for you to take advantage of getting that free guide that is linked in the description below. Because remember, in order for you to take full benefit of the assertiveness training, you need to have worksheets with you, and keep all of those worksheets because you are going to go back and look at them. So I look forward to seeing you in my next video, where I will talk about the different communication styles such as passive, aggressive, and passive-aggressive communication styles, and help you differentiate between all of those and your assertive communication style. So I look forward to seeing you in my next video, and do subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on this amazing training that is absolutely free to you to become assertive in life. I hope to see you here next Saturday. Till then, live your best life.